Good day, how you doing? James here. Hope you guys are doing well. Well, I thought about the video I did yesterday, and I
When
decided to
I
make
knew
another
I
part
wanted to
two.
form an LLC, I did a bunch of
And I'm gonna
online
start
research.
with Donovan Sharp. Shout out to his channel, and I'm gonna show you bringing it, show two perspectives on this thing of being a black man and interracially dating one woman you date with the Caucasian white woman, and so this should be interesting.
And me being a technology native, I really thrive off choosing technology partners.
White women in America live the best lives of any class of human on the planet, so it stands to reason that they don't have much to be scorned about as opposed to black women. That said, the problems black women face in this day and age is no longer the problem of black men. And if we can smash, date, and be in long-term relationships with women who don't wake up with an attitude problem, then why would we? The hard truth is that white girls are more feminine than black women, and it's not even close. The funny thing is, the more masculinity you show in the presence of a white girl, the more feminine they become. If you verbally reprimand her for some reason, they soften up and heed your command. If you let her know the two of you are staying in for the night rather than going on a double date with her coworker and her boyfriend, she'll say yes sir and be done with it. Black females are the polar opposite. You see, the more masculinity you show in the presence of a black woman, the more masculine she becomes. If you show any semblance of backbone, black women get louder, their nostrils flare, their voices get deeper, and they become confrontational. There are a lot of black men out there who pretend they don't think white women are attractive. They say things like, my girl has to have melanin, or white girls aren't special, or my favorite, white girls aren't my type. Well, number one, African Americans aren't the only race of people with melanin in our skin, so it's time to can that tired phrase. Number two, white girls aren't special. In fact, they're some of the worst behaved women out there. But within the context of a relationship with a man of value, they certainly make much better girlfriends than who everyone thinks we should be in relationships with, and I'll let you do the math there. And number three, unattractive women are nobody's type, regardless of race. But lying to the world by saying they wouldn't smash an attractive white girl makes it plainly obvious that these brothers fall into a category of black men who honestly don't think they can get with these girls. Now, I have neither the time nor the patience to convince a group of men who have been brainwashed by their own community to believe that dating outside of his race somehow makes them less than or not a, quote, real brother. There's no hope for those men, and quite frankly, I don't give a damn. But for the brothers out there who are inexperienced in dating interracially, who are looking to broaden their horizons and seek better options, I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version on what to expect when approaching and dating white women. I'll also discuss some of the drawbacks that come with dating interracially. Now, dating white girls isn't all peaches and cream. Like anything in life, there are costs, but there are also benefits. And at the end of this video, you might not think it's worth it to pursue women outside of your race. But at least you'll have the information available to you so that you can make an informed decision without the influence of all the brainwashing you've been subjected to your entire lives. First, let's talk about what to expect when approaching white girls. And the first thing you need to understand is that white girls and other non-black women respond very differently when approached by brothers as opposed to other races of men. And there are four main elements that stood out to me that brothers definitely need to be cognizant of when pursuing these women. But first, I'd like to remind you to like, comment, and share this video if you think it can benefit someone you know. Okay, let's get back to talking about the four main elements that black men need to keep in mind when approaching white women. Number one, white girls rarely make us prove our masculinity. While most white males in America are charged with the task of proving their sexual fitness to women in this country, brothers don't generally have to deal with this quite as often. And the reason for this is that there is an unspoken sentiment here in the States that black men are quote-unquote natural alphas. Black professional athletes and the hip-hop culture do make a strong argument for this assumption, but the truth is, no one really knows for sure. Now, the advantage to this assumed, quote, alphaness is that white girls will test black men as a function of confirmation as opposed to qualification, and that's if they even test us at all. Now, every so often, they will poke and prod here and there to make sure that we live up to the perceived reputation. But by and large, white girls and non-black women tend to give more black men the instant stamp of masculinity than other races of men. Now, the drawback to this assumption is that if you do fail a masculinity test or a poop test, you are beyond finished. When when the entire culture tells the majority of women that black men have natural alpha tendencies, they expect it from us from the onset. If they don't see it, or they sense even trace amounts of weakness or sin in you, their you-know-whats dry up quicker than a desert in the middle of a drought. Understand this, gentlemen. Nothing is more unattractive than a black man who is not masculine. Most times I failed even a single masculinity test, I have rarely been given a chance to redeem myself. Even if my game was rock solid to that point, they check out the minute I made a misstep. So even though we do have an advantage from the beginning, our margin of error is almost non-existent. I speak from personal experience. The second thing you need to expect when approaching white women is that they expect us to try to smash on the first date. Assuming we're natural alpha sets a lot of expectations with white girls. They expect us to be upfront and straightforward, and are ready for us to be bold and forthright when we run game on them. This means they expect us to quickly escalate the interaction towards bedroom fun almost immediately. Now the advantage to this is that it takes a huge amount of pressure off. Knowing a white girl expects us to make a strong play to get some action means that if they give up the digits, they're likely to give up the booty. Now the disadvantage is that approaching them during the day can be very difficult. Listen, it's hard enough to work past the good girl shields of attractive women as it is, but it can be extremely difficult to strike up a conversation with a good-looking white girl to gain trust and build attraction. Now granted, most men have to do this anyway, as hot girls correctly assume that the reason most men talk to them is because they want to smash. But when they're approached by a brother, they are 100% certain of what we're after, and if they're not DTF, they're not receptive to game at all. The end result is a lot of rejection, which again is part of the game. Can't win them all, fellas. On the other hand, this saves us a lot of time. When I used to approach white girls day or night, they made it very clear to me whether or not they were interested, and they very rarely wasted time voicing this. If they were feeling my game, they start to reciprocate. I get the digits, and the rest is history. If they're not, they often shut me down right there on the spot. Time is a man's most valuable commodity, so the fact that white girls and non-black women expect us to push for sex early and often saves us a lot of time and frustration in the long run, more often than not. The third thing you need to be aware of when approaching white women is that black men are rarely thought of as options for long-term relationships by young and attractive white girls. When the typical American white girl or non-black woman fantasizes about her perfect boyfriend or married life, she is seldom thinking about her beau being a black man. Whether we like it, admit it, or not, white men are at the top of the sexual food chain. Women of all races with white girl sensibilities prefer white guys, assuming all things are equal. Now let me qualify that last statement. If there is a black man who is better looking, has a better job, is in better shape, and has a better handle on women than the typical white guy, most women, regardless of race, are going to gravitate towards the black guy because he's just a better option, skin tone notwithstanding. But if you have a white and a black male who both have great looks, a good handle on women, great jobs, and are both in great shape, white girls are going to choose the white guy better than 9 times out of 10. Call it unfair, disagree, call it whatever you want. That's how it is. No, I'm not saying that white guys are superior or that they're somehow better than other races of men. But facts are facts, and if you just take a look around, you'll see that white guys are just about every woman's type. Now, we have come a long way in America as far as the overall acceptance of interracial dating between black men and white women are concerned, but it does still carry a measure of taboo, however covert it may be. Couple that with the hive-minded mentality most American females have, meaning they all want the same things and they all think the same way, and you will find that most young, attractive white girls you approach won't be dreaming about your wedding, honeymoon, and life as wife with you. Outside of wealthy black men, it is very rare that young, attractive white and non-black women think of brothers as long-term options. The perceived notion that black men don't earn as much as white men and social stigma are major deterrents to white girls as far as marriage and settling down is concerned. However, white girls in this country are positively mystified by the lure of the sexual prowess of the black male. All white girls, regardless of age, are dying to know why women say, once you go black, you don't go back. Now, the obvious benefit here is that it leads to a lot of easy lays with white girls, especially in today's girl power culture that encourages women to sleep around. No, not all black men smash like adult film stars, and we don't all have huge sausages. Women who have experience with more than one brother know this. However, for those who have never come to the dark side can't help themselves. They have to know. So as soon as the opportunity presents itself, any white woman who's even a little bit curious almost involuntarily drops her panties when a black man strikes up conversation with her. Unless you're looking for a long-term commitment, there's no real downside to not being thought of as husbands or long-term boyfriends by white girls. These chicks are some of the easiest targets out there if you're just looking to smash as many Caucasian girls as you possibly can. So now that you know what to expect when you approach white girls and non-black women, let's now talk about what to expect when you engage in relationships on different levels with them. And the first thing you should expect is great treatment. If you're pounding her senseless and handle her like a man by having backbone, demanding her best, voicing her expectations up front, and holding her to her commitment to meet your expectations, a white girl will move heaven and earth to make your life better. Besides giving you the booty anytime and anywhere you damn well please, they will also put their domestic skills front and center to keep you around and show their appreciation for you. Before I made my woman my main chick, she treated me like a god every time we saw each other. She cooked for me, made sure my place was clean, waited on me hand and foot, and never hesitated to get on her knees and handle her business. That behavior continues today. Another Mexican girl I was dating in Vegas cleaned my apartment every time she came over. Although her cooking skills left a lot to be desired, she wasn't terrible, and always made an effort to prepare a good meal for me. She knew how to lock me down by being a doting, dutiful woman, because deep down she knows that this is what men of value want. In my younger days, I was smashing black girls left and right, and I can't remember any of them cooking, cleaning, or even offering to pick up the tab when we went out. In their minds, giving me the booty was all that was needed to keep me around. Now, to be fair, my value was much lower back then, but I was still treated better by white girls during that same time frame. This is the unfortunate mindset of the typical American black female. White girls, on the other hand, clearly understand that giving up the panties is only the beginning and gets them in the door. They are keenly aware of the fact that a man of value can get sex just about any time he wants, so they do other things to keep us around, which means stepping up their game in other areas to increase their value to you outside of fun in the bedroom. By the same token, they gotta know how to please us in bed. So the second thing you should expect is sexual openness. Black women who watch videos like this are always quick to point out that they just love giving fellatio. But the conventional wisdom that states sisters don't like going downtown didn't come from just nowhere. Stereotypes exist for a reason. The HBO show Insecure confirmed this stereotype with a conversation between Issa and all of her friends who were talking about how degrading it was to go down on a man. The one friend who endorsed going downtown on a man on the regular happened to be the one who was engaged to be married. Go figure. This stereotype was further validated during a scene when Issa decided to go down on her boy toy Daniel, and he sprayed protein all over her face. Issa lost her mind and stormed out of his apartment. She blamed him for releasing as a result of her wind employment. In my experience, and a lot of other black guys I've talked to, woman for woman, white girls give mouth pleasure at a much higher percentage than black women. I'm not sure what the exact numbers are, but I can tell you that the gap is wide. Sure, I've gotten my sausage smoked by black chicks in the past, but every single solitary white girl I have ever dealt with has never hesitated to get on her knees. I cannot say the same of black women. White girls are also by far the most open in the bedroom. Drinking protein, backdoor fun, public displays of, let's call it, extreme affection, and anything you can think of, white chicks are down for whatever. Anything and everything is on the table with these girls because they want to do whatever it takes to make you happy, even if they don't particularly like it, especially when it comes to the bedroom. The next thing you can expect from white girls when you date them is generally a good attitude, rather than a bitchy one. Now, to be fair, it is easy for women who get attention from any and every man the minute they step foot outside their front doors every morning to have a pleasant attitude. It's also easy for white girls to stay positive when they live the lives of privilege that they live. White women in America live the best lives of any class of human on the planet, so it stands to reason that they don't have much to be scorned about as opposed to black women. That said, the problems black women face in this day and age is no longer the problem of black men. And if we can smash, date, and be in long-term relationships with women who don't wake up with an attitude problem, then why would we?
I'm going to ask you this question. Are you open to honoring?
Hold on. Whoops, sorry about that. Damn it. Shit. Hold on. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go to the other one. But yeah, that was a really interesting insight what Donovan said back then. That explains why some black guys want to. Woo! You learn something every day.
What if the Wright brothers had partnered with Mauser? A plane wouldn't just fly. It
tell me that, oh yeah, you're born. Like listen to me. Like I don't want you two to be tripping or nothing like.
There's a long tradition of black folk who have stood up and spoken out against the occupation of Palestine and spoken for the liberation and self-determination of Palestine.
Dang it. Sorry about that interruption.
Tell me that, oh yeah, you're born.
Let's hear from what the young man's saying. What the young guy's saying.
The more attractive you are, the less serious women are going to take you. And let's just keep it a buck. This applies especially if you black, bro. A lot of these girls will not take you serious. You know what I'm saying? This is all news, but I'm just saying, especially if you are black, bro, if you are a black male, a lot of these girls will not take you serious. The only reason they date you is because you are taboo. You are not supposed to be with her. It's a fetish, bro. That's what you have to understand. But this doesn't just apply to black dudes. This applies to any guy that is masculine. If you got big muscles, right? If you just have a masculine overall look to you, bro, understand that in 2023, they not taking you serious no more. Why? Because to them, you're just a plaything. You're just, oh, look, he's masculine, he's this, he's all that, right? You're toxic. Oh, wow, he's looking. Toxic and masculine are all one and the same now. What you have to understand about girls of this generation is that they care more about getting attention than having a good man and being in a good relationship, bro. Understand that women is going their own way. They no longer want to get married. They don't want to have babies. They don't want to settle down no more, bro. You see these girls starting OF accounts from young ages. As soon as they hit 18, they start an OF account and they making whatever amount of money, or they not making no money at all. They selling out just to get some Instagram likes, bro. These girls are crashing out to get attention. Understand that that is today's currency, bro. That's today's currency model. They not using US dollars no more. Half of these women out there, this generation of women, they be broke. They have no desire to work, no desire to get a job. They don't have an Indeed.com account, bro. But you know what they do have? An Instagram account with thousands and thousands of followers with dudes that's willing to fly them out even though they bums. Didn't even finish high school, still getting flown out by these guys who are willing to do so, bro. Lots of these girls are bums. They provide absolutely nothing, especially monetarily, bro. And this is how life is from girls really born from like 2000 and up. Let's just be real, bro. When I say today's generation of women, I'm talking about what is it, like millennials and Gen Z, things that it used to be like this. You know what I'm saying? Women used to have some sort of drive, wanted to provide some sort of value or something like that. But nowadays, these girls just want to sit back and just get all the attention and blah blah blah, and that's their currency. Right? But understand that the reason they don't take guys that are masculine, guys that they perceive to be, strong or traditional, whatever, they don't take those type of guys seriously because they don't give them attention. They're not gonna go for the BS. They're not gonna go for the bullshit, bro. They gonna put them in their place and be like, yo, I'm gonna hold you accountable for what I need to hold you accountable for. I'm not gonna let you just run all over me. The only guys that will let them do whatever they want to do and still get attention from them is the lames, the simps, the losers, bro. And that's why the losers right now is winning, right? They're getting in relationships with these women because these women value their attention more than anything. They don't want healthy relationships no more, bro. But understand that the guys that are losing, the masculine guys, bro, they stereotype us, right? So if you a black dude, right, who kind of look, and this is why I keep saying black dudes, is because black dudes in today's popular culture, let's be honest, have been made synonymous with like gangbangers, which is now made synonymous with masculinity. And none of these things are actually true. Gangbangers and masculine men actually don't even mix. Actually, gangbangers are more feminine than you think, bro. That's what you gotta understand. But it's because they're emotional. But anyway, I digress. That's a video for another day. But they toxicity. All of this is just one thing to them, bro. Toxicity, being masculine, you know what I mean? Having a certain look about you, having any sort of confidence. All this is one and the same to them. They don't care about what's different between each one, because at the end of the day, you know why they don't care? You know why they don't care? Because they're not taking you serious. And they're not taking you serious because you're not going to allow them to do whatever they want to. dude, they're always going to look. This is how it goes, bro. We know this is a fact. Girls will always go to the guy that's giving them the most attention, right? But then they gonna sneak off and cheat on that guy with the guy that she finds masculine, that's dominant, that's traditional. She gonna cheat on him with that guy, right? But the traditional dude, bro, she's always gonna be hesitant to commit. She's gonna be hesitant to commit because she knows that if she gets with him, it's over.
It's telling from a young generation, and it's even some older women do it too.
She knows that if she gets with him, it's over. If she gets with him, it's no more attention. She can't go to the clubs no more, bro. This is what today's women is like. And now, I'm not saying all girls are like that. It's some women out there that's willing to get in a relationship, especially with a traditional man, bro. But the thing is this. They're getting more and more every single day. Women are getting more and more convinced to not settle down. They're being more and more convinced to find them a little scent that they can have for the rest of their lives. So that way, they can get more attention, more money, right? They can get all these things without doing a lick of work. They sit back, they're not even taking care of the household, you know what I mean? They sitting at the house, they're housewives, but they not even taking care of the household. You come home, the whole room dirty, the whole living room dirty, you know what I'm saying? The dishes ain't done, nothing like that, bro. I'm just being honest with you. They're providing absolutely no value. And that is why the more attractive you are, the more masculine you look, the more difficult it's going to be to find a girlfriend. And I know this is a fact because I've been getting DMs on DMs on DMs talking about, okay, am I improving my life? I'm doing all this. I'm still not getting attention from girls. Or girls still not taking me serious, whatever. It's because they don't want to anymore, bro. That's why it's important to understand that you should only be in relationships with women who do desire that. Because women who desire to be in an actual relationship understand that you gonna be in a relationship with them if you got your stuff together. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth. But it's getting harder and harder to find because more of these girls out here is going the other way. More of these girls is out here, they don't want to be controlled or whatever, in a sense. They don't want you to tell them what to do. They don't want you to hold them accountable, bro. That's just 100% the truth, dog. And we know it because see, and it's all taboo. The more masculine you are, the more taboo you are, the more rebellious, because they got like a rebellious spirit about them, bro. Think about it, dog. I know a lot of, look, I went to high school in Orange County, bro. There was a lot of white girls there who liked black dudes. Why did they like black dudes? Because it was rebellious. Because they knew for a fact that their conservative families did not want them to be with black dudes. Let's just be 100, bro. Let's keep it a buck. I'm not lying to you. They knew for a fact that it was like, ooh, this is different. Ooh, I'm not supposed to be doing this. You know who a lot of them girls ended up being with in the future? Some of them is even getting married. They ended up with a white dude in a relationship. They got with a black dude for a week or two, or maybe they just talked to him for a little bit. But who was they really serious with? The white dude. And 9 times out of 10, it's not even a masculine white dude. It was typically one of the lames, one of the losers, one of the simps. Right? So it really don't even have anything to do with race, bro. The only reason I'm breaking it down like that is because there are stereotypes connected to it, bro. You know what I mean? Because the same thing was happening to the masculine white dudes, bro. The masculine white dudes, they wasn't getting in no relationships with these women because these women was turning to the simps. Even back in high school, bro. Even back in high school. And now it's getting worse and worse and worse every single day. Every single day, bro. It's getting worse and worse and worse. Now you might be saying, well, Cam, you know what I mean? Their emotions are gonna attach them to the yeah, I get that. I understand that their emotions are gonna attach them to the masculine guy who's working on himself. But at the end of the day, it's always gonna be a tug of war between how much she likes you and how much attention she wants, bro. And understand that attention is always gonna win with these types of women, bro. Understand that. Understand that. They don't want to have no accountability. That's why most of them is liberal, bro. Let's just be honest about that. That's why most of these girls is liberal, dog. It's because a lot of these hyper liberals have zero accountability. They supporting all this weird foo-foo stuff, bro. They don't have to have no type of accountability, bro. No type of logic, no type of sense, bro. They support that type of stuff because it allows them to do whatever they want, bro. That's really what it is, bro. These girls are turning away from traditional values in order to do whatever they want, to be in a club with whoever they want. That's why these girls got male friends. They have male friends so that they can have options. Let's just be honest about that, bro. Let's just be real about that. You can't date these type of women. You cannot date these type of women, bro, because they will only be with you for the fun, bro. Let's just be honest about that. They gonna be with you for the fun, but as soon as you got your business and you don't have time to feed them attention, bro, they gonna leave. Why? Not because you should actually be over giving all this attention to these girls. No, it's because she misses the feeling of waking up and seeing DM after DM after DM in her inbox, bro. Understand that. But again, that's why all of these girls are liberal, bro. I remember when I was in college, bro, my first year of college, I was friends with this group of females, bro, right? And this this was long before I wouldn't even have considered myself traditional or nothing like that at this point. Like but I was raised right, you know what I'm saying? I have common sense. So I got in an argument with these females, bro, and they was like, they was trying to tell me that people can be born foo-foo. They was trying to tell me that, oh yeah, you're born.
That's TikTok.
This is what it's all about. The Amazing Race is bigger than ever with 90-minute episodes all season long.
That what I showed you was TikTok. Women are going to TikTok now doing this stuff. That's why I showed you that. But this is what's going on. And
I'm gonna ask you this question: are you looking? Are you open to all races? Do you want to date a race in particular?
I'm open to all races.
Okay, you open to all races. Okay. Okay, I asked you a roundabout, but let me just ask you directly. Do you date black men?
Yes,
Is that a preference?
Yes.
It is.
But wait! There's more!
What about money?
So money, I would say you have to be able to take care of yourself as well as whatever baggage you come with. I would say if we're looking for a number range these days, it would probably be around 80,000 or more.
80K or more.
Peace. Pre-select dogs. Back here with another video. Yo, bang that subscribe button. As we grow, as we build the plane, you can say you was here from day one, throughout all the dustiness, throughout all the ashiness, as we're upgrading the technology, as we're gaining experience on the mic. You can say you was here from day one. Yo, shout out to y'all. Let's get it.
Hi, Kendra. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you. What's your name,
My
baby?
name is good. My name is Joy. How are you?
Joy came ready. Joy came ready. Where you call me from, Joy? Joy, don't have your cut. Don't cut your head off, though. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Where you call me from, Joy?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Shout out to Charlotte.
Charlotte, what you do for a living?
I'm a project and program manager.
Okay, talk louder. You're a project manager?
I'm a project and program manager.
Okay. Do you have any children?
I do not.
Yes, how old are you?
I just turned 34 on the 18th. Virgo season. Shout out to
Virgo
my
season.
Virgos.
30.
Money sign.
Or what's okay? You're a Virgo. You told me. All right, I think I got everything. Joy Charlotte, project manager, no children, 34 Virgo. What kind of man you looking for, Joy?
A man that's well put together. I know what I bring to the table, so I definitely would like a man that can match what I bring. I'm not looking for to take from you or you take from me. I have a life that I'd like to share with it, whether it's happiness, financial stability. Looking for a man that I don't mind if a man has children. I know that's one of your questions. I don't mind if a man has children.
It's giving you looking for a black man. And we're going to figure out what kind of man she's looking for. But I mean, you're on a black show. Kendra G is an advocate for black love. You know, this is her show and she wants black men and black women to be together. But this is a predominantly black show. It's a cultured show. And she's on it. I'm just going to assume that she's looking for a black man.
But you have to be there as you present with your children, to train your children.
Maybe-
Looking for a good man,
commercial.
spiritual or religious. Either way, as long as you don't force your beliefs on me, and we understand that we both have our separate beliefs and come to terms to accept who we are. And
Were you looking for a spiritual or religious man in your 20s, ma'am? Or are you just now looking for a spiritual or religious man? Because my thinking is, if you are looking for a spiritual or religious man, but you guys were in your 20s and he is really spiritual or religious, then you guys would have been married and moved along the path. So is this like a newfound want in a man? But he now has to be religious and spiritual?
I feel for me.
Okay. You really know what you want.
I do.
You gotta open it out. You say you know what to bring to the table. I'll come back to that. What are your deal breakers?
Preference mentioned men that are absent from your children's life.
That you what?
I'm so sorry. You said deal breakers, right?
Yeah. And why is it? Can you get somewhere a little quiet? Like, are you in a restaurant?
I am, but I can step outside. Give me one moment. I don't know if the lighting will be good out there, though.
Well, listen, stay there because I can hear you.
Okay.
I just talk a lot. Tell me your deal breakers.
So I mentioned men that have children that are absent or don't take care of their children. I like an ambitious man, so if you don't have drive, if you don't have vision, I'm always looking for, I'm a student for life. So I love a man that seeks knowledge, education, a man that is confident and that leads. Those are just a few.
Okay.
What? You looking for a black man? You looking for a man in general to lead? Interesting. Black woman. Why does she want a man to lead? Right? Because again, our community is led by women. Right? This is why black men, we need to shake this shit up. We need to have this conversation. Practice some group economics and some unity, because this is some bullshit. But I wonder why this woman wants a man that can lead, someone that she can submit to. Because in our community, this is a foreign French toast concept.
Okay. Does he have to look a certain way?
I love a man that's taller than me. I am 5'9", so I'm a little on the taller side. So.
If you're saying that you want a man that's taller than you, and then the average man is 5'9", but you want him to be taller than you, you know, now you're looking for an above average man. Hopefully he could be 5'10", but you guys have to understand that with modern conveniences, height really shouldn't matter as much. Back before modern conveniences, I get it, the man had to be big, tall, strong for survival. And I get it, it's in our DNA to want what we want. But it ain't enough of those men. This is not enough. I don't understand what's wrong with a man that's shorter than you or your height.
I do look for a man that's taller than me from an appearance perspective. Other than that, race, I would date any race. There's no specific race that I would date.
Oh, okay, so yeah, she's not looking for a black man, but she's looking for any man, which is nice. She's expanding her options, and that opens up the percentage for her, depending on what else she wants. Now, she already wants a man that's taller than her, 5'10", or above. Only 15% of men are 6 foot and above. So hopefully, you know, she's looking for a man that's, 5'10", 5'11", maybe. More than likely, more than likely she's looking for a man that's 6 feet, right? Maybe we'll get into it. Maybe they'll dive into it a little bit more. But and we're gonna see what else she wants. But at least she is willing to expand her race options. But you're on a black show, so I mean, it's kind of telling.
From an age perspective, I just turned 34, so I would look to date maybe 32 to 41.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this question. Are you open to all races? If you want to date a race in particular?
I'm open to all races.
Okay, you open to all races. Okay. Does the guy have to look a certain way?
Just being taller than me, I don't have a preference on weight. I do have a preference on health and wellness. So I have what I call my iPhone first journey. I spend a lot of time making sure that I take care of myself from a nutrition and fitness perspective. So I would look for those qualities in someone as well.
Black women, take notes. 80% of our women are overweight. 80% of that number is obese. America has a culture of unhealthy eating habits, but health is wealth. We have to eat to live. The gut is the second brain, right? So shout out to this lady here taking her health seriously. Black women, the numbers in our community when it comes to our weight, we need to do better. And men are visual. Black men in particular, yeah, we may be okay with a woman that's a little bigger if the fat falls right. But that's still unacceptable because black men as a whole are saying, even if that may be the case for some, as a whole we deem it unacceptable. We want you to be healthy. We want you to take your health seriously. So for this woman to come up here on a black show, to a show by black, for black, to find black love, and talk about her health, I mean, that automatically triggers black men positively. Because when we're in our communities, we see our women overweight, and as they walk, the fat hanging out. Black women, you have to take your health seriously, because black men and otherwise, want women to be fit.
Okay. What about money?
So money, I would say you have to be able to take care of yourself as well as whatever baggage you come with. Again, I'm looking to come to the table to share what we've created, not to take from one another. I would say if we're looking for a number range these days, it would probably be around 80,000 or more.
80K or more.
No! God, please, no!
Yeah, you French toast lost me. You lost me there. See, we were doing good until you asked for a top 13%. Here's the thing. In America, only 10% of men make about 8 to 10% of men make about 100,000. You want 80,000? That only bumps it up to 13% of men, approximately 13 to 14% of men. So now you want him to be taller than you, be 5'9". The average height for a man in America is 5'9". You want him to be a top 13% earner. All right, come on now. All right, now we're about to go off the ledge here. We were doing fine. No ma'am. But let's see what else you want. Let's get back into it.
80K or more, but you're open to I feel like you're open to every race, or just that whenever you're open to more races of men, you're gonna have a higher probability, just like data, right?
Now that may be true, but the reality is 13% of men make 80K or more. So yes, your pool may be expanded, but that number is static. 13% is 13%. And then you want to be taller, then you want to be attractive. Maybe not, but in general, black women in general want to be attractive, taller than them. It's unrealistic. These unicorn type men that you women are talking about, y'all gonna have to lap up. Y'all gonna have to lap up and share these men. There's not enough of them. 13%, that's just from a financial perspective. We're not talking about the looks, when we know majority of men are unattractive to majority of women. We're not talking about the height, when we know the average height is 5'9". We're not talking about Johnson size, when the average Johnson size is 5.5 inches. It's unrealistic. But let's get back into it. Let's dive back into it.
And that's why I've been going overseas.
Oh boy. Okay. Hold on.
Someone said I'm gonna cut somebody out after the show. I will respond after. I'll give y'all that heads up. Alright, let's see what you work with. Is that a booty?
It is.
Ooh, you said it is. It is.
And she's fit. She takes her health seriously. A nice body. Men love a fit woman. Men love a healthy woman. Because if you're fit, if you're healthy, the insides are healthy, you don't stink, your pH balance ain't off. Right? It's overall good. It's overall bliss. Shout out to her for taking her health seriously. Her body looks good.
Yes, sir. Thick thighs too.
You said thick thighs too?
Yes, sir.
But your body been that good. We gotta get into it, because your body look that good. You 34. Why you ain't got no kids? How many? I'm not gonna go there. It's YouTube, but in men's mind, we think about this stuff. You're 34, you didn't have children. Have the guts ever been glazed? And if so, were there planned? Were there planned alphabets involved? I can't say it on YouTube. But were there controlled deletions after the guts were glazed? Or were they never glazed before? You're 34, no kids, but you got a good body, cute face. So the math ain't mathing. But let's get back into it.
I asked you a roundabout, but let me just ask you directly. Do you date black men?
Yes.
Because you're on a black show, so I'm gonna assume.
Is that a preference?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
I'm open to all races, but it is.
Open to all races, but.
And that's the reality. The reality is, black men are the second most wanted group in America, even though we are the minority. So, black women, do you want to lose your men? You have to understand that in mass, black men want black women more than other races want black women. It's natural. It's natural for any man or woman in their race to want their own. However, other races are checking for your men, and we are a minority. So, with those two factors being known, most people date within their race. So, no race is checking for black women for marriage, like black men are. There are more women than men on this earth, and other races of women are checking for black men. So, black women, are you willing to forfeit your men, or are you gonna fight for them? Because she's coming fit, right? Other races of women are coming fit, feminine, naturally submissive, childless, and 80% of our women in our community have babies with 20% of the men outside of the foundation of marriage. It's unacceptable. It's crazy. So these other women are coming to your spaces looking for your men, looking for the best of them. Looking for the best of them, looking for the average of them. I'm telling you, because I know I deal with multiple people per day. I deal with multiple women per day. And I talk with my men, my black men. Black men put in the comments as well. So black women, I need you to understand what black men want for it to be reciprocated. You gotta understand that other races are giving black men what they want. Maybe you don't care. I will argue that you do, because black.
Sounds like a good commentary here.
When they were in college and they were fun and everything was having just a party, it was cool to be in that interracial relationship where you were still a black man, your own identity, your own person, your own being. But now y'all have been married 10 years and y'all got 3 kids and y'all live in the suburbs in that gated community, and that whole white world, as long as they accept you, she's going to be happy. So you can be a black man, but not that kind of black man. You can be the black man that white people feel is acceptable and will allow them around their, groups, social events, and the PTO.
Black men get the white women that other white men genuinely do not want. You don't get the top of the line white women. You don't.
This is the final part in my series.
That was an interesting comment.
Which one?
Black guys don't get the top of the line white women. They get the white women that white men don't want.
You've never seen him before, Dr. Umar Johnson. You've never seen him before? Probably not, because he pops up in my feed quite often because I'm black. I always seem to find it funny that you have black people that try to tell black people that date non-black or who happen to marry non-black how not black they are, even though they're still black. And then on the other side, you have what I often see, white women that are trying to tell black men how they're also not black and how they're non-black and how they're just acting white. And so this clip right here is just another one of those women that thinks that she knows everything.
When I think, and when we should start to talk about the upper middle class white woman and how she preys on the disenfranchised black man, disenfranchised being that who is without privilege. And I'm not really sure, where do they meet? At work? College? I'm not really sure about that aspect, but none of this is poverty.
Since she has, honestly, as you listen to it, probably has been a part of the black experience. I would say probably not a part of the black experience, but probably has had the black experience put in her a couple times.
I didn't peg her for that either.
I pegged her for that because I've seen women like this before. I actually grew up around women like this.
Go ahead. I didn't think she was straight.
No, she's straight.
Oh.
She's straight a dumbass. I've seen this quite a bit. If you've ever played sports or been around sports, you've seen these women around sports. They were athletic trainers a lot of times, or they hung out with the ball teams, and they got passed around like a frisbee.
What I did notice in my comment section is that a lot of black men were defending their interracial relationships and letting me know I'm a racist and I'm uneducated and the world has evolved. Here's my favorite. It's nobody's business who we date. Why should it matter? There are bigger things to worry about in the world. I mean, if you close your mind, and I didn't say black men were writing these comments, you'd literally think you were listening to white women talk. Because that's what I hear out of white women every single time they try to defend their interracial relationships.
So what she's speaking to right now is not what they call, or what people want to call, the stereotypical black man. What she's talking about is middle class, upper class couples and people that are married that happen to be in interracial relationships. Now, the thing that always kind of puzzles me is that there's only one dynamic of the interracial relationship that's always focused on, is the black man with the white woman. There's no other type of interracial relationships that are talked about. Since it just rubs a nerve a lot of times, is that evidently a lot of people want black men to stay in their place. A lot of black people want black men to stay, quote unquote, in their place. A lot of white women want black men to stay, quote unquote, in their place. And I'm pretty sure white men do too, but they just can't say it. What I will say is that this is a small percentage nowadays. This is not one of those large percentages like it was, I would say, probably 50 years ago, because people's mindsets have evolved. Unfortunately, evolution is proving itself because some of the stragglers are still left behind.
She hasn't said much yet, but I agree with a few things that she's already said.
Of course we're not going to agree with anything she says, but there's actually something that she is going to say that I am going to agree with.
Breathing, you're the cool.
Something that she is going to say that I am going to agree with.
And then they go and make TikTok challenges about how expensive this one was and how I got them on sale. Or they're making wedding invitations in cotton fields with their black fiancés in shackles. Or I think there was another trend about how many beautiful golden brown skinned babies you can have with a dark skinned man. But I was drinking during that time, so I could be off in the details just a little bit.
The fact that she said she was drinking actually explains quite a bit, because here's the thing. When you first started off your video, you were talking about middle class. And middle class people don't do stuff like this. The TikTok challenges and the things that you're talking about right now are things that younger people do. Somebody that's middle class is not going to be posting something like that. Young people do stupid stuff. When we were young, and when I was young, I did stupid stuff. The problem is nowadays is that the stupid stuff that young people do, because they have phones, they're constantly taking photos and taking pictures of these things, and they're posting them. Dare I say, back in the day, if I would have had a phone when I was in my early 20s and when I was in my teens, it probably wouldn't have been good, because I'd have been making a lot of these stupid decisions because you don't have context on a lot of stuff that you're doing. You're talking about two different things right now. You first started your video about talking about middle class. I mean, the middle class and upper class interracial couples are posting TikTok challenges. I dare to say very, very few.
I think it's sexual gratification that gets white women in the door. I call it the mandingo fetish, that black snake moan. Y'all don't like these terminologies, and I don't give a fuck. This is how people think.
The other thing, which is another clue about your past life, which actually kind of comes out, is that how would you know what that was? Like, how would you know what that was unless you've actually been smacked in the face with quite a few? I mean, life smacks you in the face, and the thing is that once you wake up to reality, you're like, maybe I shouldn't have been smacked in the face that many times before it actually kind of clicked to me. And so in order to be smacked in the face with something, yes, it has to be quite large. So the thing that you now are speaking against is what you craved when you were younger. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, just because that you've made mistakes in your life doesn't mean that you have to express those mistakes and tell everybody else how their life sucks because you made some effed up decisions in your life.
I really don't have much to say about this.
This is your people.
Yes. And that's why I have no comment. It's just terrible.
Black men speak like the white women they're with now in America, and I'm gonna be real honest, I didn't realize so many black men were only dating white women or non-black women, but I'm not gonna go into that in this video either. talking like that. Disenfranchised.
I didn't realize that there was only one way that black people spoke.
Yes.
It actually brings up another clue about your past life. This is a sign of that you grew up lower and not even middle class, and there's nothing wrong with that. The black experience is not just a lower class experience, and basically you're trying to say that all black people, because they speak a certain way, are lower class, and that's not the truth. As you move throughout society, you start to hang out with people that you have more in common with. And the thing is that if you run a business, most of the time you're going to hang out with more business people. If you're an electrician, most of the time you're going to hang out with electricians. Every group that you hang out with has things that they have in common. And so, if you are speaking a certain way as a black person, it's probably because of the people that you're hanging around. Is that disenfranchisement? So many people try to put black people in the box. That black people are this one monolith and this one thought, and we're all supposed to wear our pants down around our ankles, and we're all supposed to say, yo, what's up, man, in this and in that. How about that's not the whole black experience? Yes, that's part of the black experience, but if that's the only part of the black experience that you've ever had encounters with, then that says a lot from where you come from, and that's perfectly fine. But you can't paint all black people like that. There's certain black people that talk very scientific that I don't understand and but that's because of the world that they're a part of. It wouldn't matter if they were black or white or Asian. They would speak that way just because of the world they're a part of.
You can be the black man that white people feel is acceptable and will allow them around their, groups, social events, and the PTO. And all of the people commenting in my comment section are predominantly upper middle class. So when I go to their Facebook pages and I see that they live these upper middle.
Why do we use short codes to text our customers?
Because customers trust them.
Why?
You're going to find small curls all around your house, in the bathroom, in the bedroom. They're going to be everywhere.
Yeah, she doesn't mean pubic hair.
No.
I just show all around people.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Lance with the LD World, and today we have a special video for you, me and my boo Dua. We are going to talk about an interesting topic. I messaged Dua earlier today, and I wanted her to talk about how to navigate dating a black man as a white woman. So she's gonna dive into that a little bit. Her tips or advice, I have no idea what they are. I'm just as interested as you guys to see what she has to say about navigating an interracial relationship with a black man. So without further ado, I'm gonna let Dua take it over. But before we go into that, you guys know what to do. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button to join the family. If you're not already, you should be. But if you're not, press that button. Turn on the notification bell so you get alerts whenever we do post for you guys, and hit the thumbs up button if you like the video. But let's get right into it.
Okay, so the first struggle is a funny one. You're going to find small curls all around your house, in the bathroom, in the bedroom. They're going to be everywhere.
Yeah, she doesn't mean pubic hair.
No.
So when I had my hair long, I would always take the pick and I'd be picking it out.
And it's funny because when my mom came to Barcelona, she was like, why are there like small black curls all around the house? And I was like, yeah, that's Lance.
And the weird thing is she doesn't like when my hair is short, and she doesn't like my little curls being all over the place when my hair is long. So there's no winning when it comes to hair. But it's interesting that you said that, because I hate it when I find Dua's hair just all over the place, in the bed, in the kitchen, on the counters, all over the place.
I have long hair, so you would expect it to fall out, but like short hair, like why is it everywhere? Probably because you pick it, no?
Yeah, probably because I pick it and try to get everything out of the knots and just...
Yeah.
So, but that's interesting. So what is your advice on that?
Tell him to be clean. Pick it up.
Keep a broom handy,
I
guys.
really don't know. No, but this first one was really just like a funny one, so I don't really have like a solution. Number 2 is, it was probably more difficult for me because I'm from Iceland and you all know about like the equality and all that. From like my experience from dating black guys, they really want to be gentlemen.
Yeah, now let me ask you this, because I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out there if anybody's curious. I'm not the only black guy that has dated. So let's be clear, is that just me or is that other black guys that you've dated in the past as well?
No, I could see the difference in like the black men I dated and the white guys. They put more effort into like being gentlemen, but the reason why I put this in the struggles is because I sometimes find they forget to ask me what I really want. So they want to be gentlemen and they open the door, they pay for you, they do this and that, but they forget to like ask or like stop and ask me like, hey, do you like what I'm doing? Do you like how I treat you? So I feel like that was kind of a struggle.
That's interesting. So let me ask you this. Like she said earlier, we don't know if that actually pertains to white women or any other women in the States, but as an Icelandic white girl dating a black guy from America or from wherever, how do you want guys to, like, what's the solution?
So I feel like it's fine to be a gentleman and do whatever I was saying, like open the door and pay for you and all that, but I think it's important to ask your girlfriend like what she wants, because not everyone wants to, you know, have everything done for them.
That makes sense. What would you say to other females who are going through the same thing?
Tell them. Sometimes they have like good intentions, they just forget to like ask you what you really want. So I would say just ask them and tell them what you want and how you feel about what they're doing.
Makes sense. Makes sense, because not everybody's the same. Some people like to be courted and others like to be equal. Let's go on to the next one.
Okay, so this is, I don't know if you're gonna take this the wrong way.
I probably will, but ask me anyways.
Yeah, this is definitely something I realized when I was dating black guys. When we're discussing things, there are certain things that are really sensitive to them.
Like what? Let's dive into that question.
When it comes to like the family or... No, it's not like the same thing with every guy.
Make it a fun family getaway in Michigan's Coldwater Country. Spend the day on one of our homes.
The same thing with every guy. It's just some things they're really like passionate about, and when you bring it up, like they just right away they like get offended. And
give us an example of me. What am I very passionate about, and what have I gotten offended about in the past?
I would say you're very sensitive about when I bring up something about your family.
Okay. Well, how do you react to it now? Like, I mean, you didn't know back then how to bring it up to me. How do you...
I still struggle with it because I'm very open and I just throw whatever. If I feel a certain way, I tell him. But I would say just be more careful, like how you word things.
Yeah, I don't know why, like, I can't speak for anybody else, but family is like the #1 thing for me. When I'm voicing my opinions and when I'm venting, I'm just like boom, 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 spitting off all this stuff, and then so I know what happens in arguments. And when she's like, "Yeah, your family does do that," I'm like, "Whoa, wait a second. You can't say that. I can say it, but you can't say that."
I want to go right into my next, which is number 3, because that's kind of related to number 2, and that is what we're just talking about. You have to be ready to like clash when it comes to your boyfriend and his family, because you were raised in 2 different ways, and it's normal to, for example, if his family gives him like advice or whatever and I don't agree with it, it's difficult for me to like tell Lance that I don't agree, and then he's in the middle and doesn't know like, you know, if he should be on my side or his family side, and it's just a lot of things because you're raised 2 different ways. Then you need to expect like them to have different opinions and see things from a different perspective and all that.
And that actually goes both ways. From a woman dating a black guy and a black guy dating whatever race woman. Like, we have to understand that we're bringing two completely, it's already crazy when you bring the same culture together. So when you're bringing two completely different cultures together in one relationship and trying to create a whole new life and create a whole new, ultimately you're trying to create a whole new culture. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, you have to be willing to, you have to be prepared to clash sometimes, but you also have to be willing to compromise.
Yeah, that's the thing. I find it very difficult when we disagree on something. I find it difficult to go the middle route without like not being myself. Like sometimes I feel like I'm just doing whatever he wants. It's difficult to be myself but still think about him and what he wants.
Yeah, I can understand that. Okay. Alright, what's the next one?
Number 4 is another, not like a funny one, but it's something that I struggle with, and that is, it probably depends on like the black people you're around, but I feel like you need to get used to them being okay with using the N-word. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
When I was in Iceland and around my friends and family, they would never use the N-word. So I was raised, don't use the N-word. Nobody should use the N-word. But that, when I met like Lance and some other black people, they just use it for their friend or their brothers, and I can't get used to it. And I don't think I ever will.
Yeah, there's no solution for that. That's something that I have been working on over the years. But yeah, growing up, we use that word often, and a lot of black people, especially in America, think that that is their word. They're very territorial to the word, and that nobody else should use it. And in my opinion, now it's different from what it used to be. Nobody should use it at all. It's a very derogatory term, and it should not be used. So I don't think that you necessarily have to get comfortable with that. I just think that that's not something that we should be saying in general.
Okay. So number 5 is something that I don't know how you are going to react to it. You Lance, not them on YouTube. This is definitely something I only experience with black guys, and that is they kind of want you to look presentable when we're going somewhere, or I don't know, and if they don't think you look good enough, they kind of tell you. And you're not like that anymore. But in the beginning, I kind of felt like I didn't look good enough. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Because maybe you wanted me to like wear makeup or dress a different way, or
like you said, I don't know. I mean, to explain my side of things, I was just always raised to like whenever you leave the house, you just always look presentable. You don't know what's gonna happen, who you're gonna run into, blah 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 blah. So I always felt like, I mean, that's just how I was raised, and I just wanted to.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like you took that into our relationship.
Definitely.
And I know your intention wasn't bad. It was just I just didn't.
It probably came off the wrong way. Like, how'd you overcome that? Like, what did it get? Did I get better? Did you just start dressing up more? What's the difference?
No.
What happened?
I feel like whenever you said something, I just told you right away, no, I'm going to wear this, or I'm going to have my hair like this, or I'm going to do this, and I feel like over time you just let me be me, and you didn't say anything anymore.
That's true.
But he's very he always wants to look presentable, and it kind of like,
I feel like you always should. Not just you, I feel like people in general should always look presentable.
I agree, but there is a huge difference between my presentable and your presentable. Like maybe yours was like, she needs to wear makeup, but that's not mine. So I feel like that's the difference. Like I feel like you should look presentable when you go outside, but presentable is just different. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Number 6 is, even if your intentions are good, you should never touch their hair when you're outside. I feel like I can do it when we're inside cuddling and he doesn't care about like his hair looking good.
You could probably do it now because I have such short hair. But when my hair was long,
you didn't want me to touch it.
No, that goes for black guys and black women. Just don't touch black people's hair. I don't know.